I made it. Hello, everyone. Brandy, you muted, girl. Hey, everybody in Facebook land.
I pushed the button on my mic. My bad. What up, everybody? I pushed the wrong button. Yo, Coach Carrie, how you feeling? How's the week going?
My week is going as good as it can possibly go. How's your week going?
Man, I'm having a fantastic week. It's been a busy week, but I've been extremely grateful this week because true colors are showing, and I love it. I freaking love it because you always have that instinct, like, is it? And then all hell breaks loose. You're like, cool.
Right.
I'm awesome now. Because, it could be frustrating. It could be aggravating. But at the same time, I'm like, no, I needed to see this. Mm-hmm. I needed to see what's going on with family. I needed to see what's going on with so-called friends. I needed to see it.
Yeah. And I want to say a lot of people don't see it. And that's okay, too, because it's still doing what it needs to do in your life.
Right.
So a lot of times we thinking, what is going on? Where are my resources coming from? Whatever. Just know things are always working. You don't have to trust. Okay, put it this way. If you had a bill, say the bill was $40, we're going to be reasonable here. The bill's $40. And you call to pay the bill. And they say, ma'am, somebody already paid it. Do you care who? Do you care how? No, you got to pay the bill. And that's how it is a lot of times in life. We always want so many answers of why. Really, all you got to do is like your why, not the world's why.
Right. And the way I look at stuff like that, if somebody was to pay something for me like that, I will worry about who, because eventually they will be revealed. And I'll be in a position sooner or later to repay them in kind, however I see fit, if I choose to.
Right.
So I don't worry about the who right now, because what I'm supposed to know, I'll know when I'm supposed to know it.
You got that right. Or you won't know, and it'll still do what it do, baby. How's your week doing, Brandy?
What's going on, our beautiful sister Queen Tracy?
Hi, Tracy. How's your week, Brandy?
It's been an awesome week. Mr. Johnson got some great news, so he'll be moving on to awesome things and getting back established, so to speak. He's kind of been here, there, and everywhere due to circumstances out of our control, but things are locking in place properly. He's moving back into the scheme of things. So I'm excited about that. I was excited about that last week, but it's like definite this week. So
that's what's up. That's what's up. Of course,
June is my month, man. It's my birthday month, and I'm excited about that. Gemini's on deck. Let's go.
What's your sign again?
I'm a Gemini. I'm right on that date. I could be a Gemini or a
Gemini.
Yes,
Gemini. It's Brandy, and she's a good dancer. Hey.
It's one of those nights. So, y'all, we got Unique Rose in the house. Unique is a mother. She is a business owner. She is a serial entrepreneur. She is a representative of Legal Shield. She does a lot. And at the end of the day, she's also a two-time author.
Woo-hoo.
So tonight we're going to be discussing creating our village, because one thing I've seen over and over and over again, those of us that take our pursuits of success, progress, and breaking these generational cycles seriously end up very upset with those that we thought were our family and close friends, when we realize like they're for us until we're doing better than them rather than joining us on this journey. So we're going to talk about creating our own village, because it's necessary when you end up experiencing that and you feel like everybody's falling away from you, and you get frustrated, you get sad, and you can be sad. Take that moment to grieve a little bit, because yes, those are people you love. Those are people you've known for a long part of your life. But this is also a chance to choose those that belong in your inner circle. And there's a difference between the inner circle, the circle, and those that's like a orbit around the circle, so to speak. So we're going to talk about all that and more. So without further ado, I'm going to take this doggone overlay down for a second. As soon as I go find it.
For a second. She said, for a second.
Don't touch me. Judge your mama.
I love you, Brandy.
So let's bring on Miss Unique Rose.
Hey,
I wasn't ready.
Girl, you see how long it took me to take down that overlay? I was like, let me go ahead and skip that countdown because it's going to take me 11:30 seconds to find it.
Welcome to the Coach The Disconnector, Unique Rose.
Thank you so much for having me.
How's your week been so far?
It has been amazing. Yes, today was the kids' last day of school, so it's like, okay.
It is that time of year.
It's like a blessing and a curse all at the same time, because now you got to line up all the summer activities.
Exactly. And I'm a little bit behind because I'm like, okay, I'm going through my list. Like, okay, camp. Okay. They're like, oh, nope. I'm like, come on, seriously?
Girl, I was like, I'm surprised. Wait, she ain't on vacation somewhere?
Right. I think it's about that time.
It is vacation time. It is definitely vacation time.
Oh,
I feel it too. It is. I'm in that season of vacation.
Yes.
Okay. I'm excited about our topic today.
Me too, because this one is definitely near and dear to my heart. And I've known Unique for a little while, and she's seen my process just like I've seen her process, and we've basically experienced the same things in different ways.
Absolutely.
And she's been who I lean on sometimes, and she leans on me sometimes, and we get through this thing together.
That's how you do it.
That inner circle that you choose to build works.
That's how you do it right there. I love it.
Right.
Angel said she's having her staycation soon. That's that's like, that's that when you really got time. Like, I got time for this today. You know, so many things happen during your day. Like, you know, on Tuesday I got a day off, and I'll do that, this, that, the other. Isn't it so good to be walking through your house and something you've been putting off? Be like, I got time today. That's what the staycations are for me. Anyway.
So, sis, tell everybody a little bit about yourself. What should they think of and know about Miss Unique Rose?
Well, you covered a lot of the bases, but I'll tell y'all a little bit about me. I'm 29. I have 4 amazing children. Lord have mercy. And I am in like, as far as the entrepreneur world, I have my hands in a lot of things. But they're all successful businesses. My main goal, what I want people to understand, is I am I've been here, I've been there, so I understand. Like, I want people to be able to come to me and talk to me about whatever it is that they're facing, because a lot of times we feel like nobody else is going through it. So, you know, or if I say this to somebody, they're going to judge me, you know, things like that. So I want people to understand, no matter what I have going on, whatever I'm involved in, it's going to be a great experience for sure, because we're going to work together. It's a village. That's what it's all about. And we're going to create that generational wealth, multiple streams of income, and we're going to also live our best life while doing it. You know,
I got a question.
I'm on her team.
Right. Come on.
I'm on her team.
But I got a question.
Yes, ma'am.
What are your boundaries as far as people that are allowed in your village? Because me, I let it be known, like, hey, you treading the line that you're not allowed. Nah. And you either back up and say, oh, my bad, or what line? F that line. I'm going to bounce you right up on out this circle. Right. That mess.
Automatically. It definitely has to be some boundaries there. And I've been one of those people. I'm real laid back. I'm cool. So I let some things slide. And then I'm like, you know, I think back on it, like, hold on, they tried me. They actually they tried me. They came for me. So now it's like one of those things where I'm letting people know we're not gossiping, we're not talking about anybody. If it's not something that's beneficial to you or myself, you're gonna have to go. You're gonna have to get on somewhere, because obviously you got way too much time on your hand if you want to converse about other people's life and what they got going on.
Right.
I don't have the time nor the energy, and I'm not getting a check for it. So what we talking about?
Right. I know that's right.
That part.
Ain't doing the thing.
So that's not
good. He echoed what you said, Brandy, in that part. And that is so true. That's so true. I've been reading a lot, and one thing that's consistent through a lot of the authors that have written stuff that I just like to just devour is that in every situation, think, how can I elevate it? If you think that every time, you won't go to the point of, I did that for them and then they didn't even like it. Well, if you would have really thought about what you was doing, that was not the thing that would have elevated the situation. You could have taught them something instead of doing something for them. You could have told them the truth instead of saying, oh, it's okay. What can I truly do in every situation to elevate the situation? And I'll tell you what, that right there will get people that you don't want to talk to no more to not come back. Because every time you really say to them what they need to be hearing, they don't want to hear it and they stop coming around.
And I love it.
Well, when they see that train moving a certain way, then they're going to try and sneak their way in. But that's when the lessons that you've been taught come into play. Like, have you actually learned? Like, I have several people that I absolutely love dearly that I've had to say, you know what? You can't be in my space.
Right.
Either they gossip too much, they just got a toxic aura about them. There's just different habits that they have that I find destructive, that they're not willing to change yet, and I can't be around that level of energy.
Right.
And so I've removed myself, and there's no love lost. But a lot of people take it personally, and that's on you. It's like, I told you,
right.
If there's a dire situation that you need my help and I can provide that help, you got it. No questions asked. But I will not allow myself to be used and abused by people that simply end up in the same circumstances over and over and over due to poor choices. Right. I will not finance your foolishness. You miss me with that shit.
Right. Yeah.
That's good. That's good right there. That's how it is. And that's one thing, that I notice as well. It's like people are, like you said, when they see that you elevating and you going a certain direction, it's either they're going to come in and try to distract you in some type of way, or they going to kind of put that guilt trip, like kind of.
You act like you better than me. You act like you don't know me no more.
There you go. And I'm like, I see you. However,
I don't know the version of myself that kicked it with you like that no more. I'm
exactly. And this is one thing, I believe I wrote this in one of my books, is I was like, I don't live at that address no more. So people may say, oh, I remember Unique. You may remember the old Unique. However, I've moved on from that address. I've graduated from that university. We own the bigger and better things. So our conversations are going to be totally different, because if it's not business related, then I'm like, okay, well, hey, thanks for inboxing me, but have a great day. I'm trying to figure out what was your goal? What was your motive?
What are we talking about? What are we talking about?
Right.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, I agree.
I'm like, this is not.
Some folks get mad at me though. They be getting mad at my ass. I come here to just vent and let you know what's going on. I was like, that's great. And you can vent, you can let me know what's going on, no problem. But are we going to discuss solutions too?
Right. Like at some point, you
just hear the dish. That's a waste of my time. Really. No thanks.
Yeah, once you get beyond the release of it, you're willingly carrying it on and on and on and on and on and on. And you have, action. You have to put an action to that on the end of it, or else you're just gonna be spinning your wheels and exhausted.
It is. I've literally had to tell like close friends, like, you have to text me or like kind of give me a little like, hey, I need to talk to you. And I'm like, can you give me a summary of what exactly it is we're gonna be talking about? Because mentally, I may not be there at that moment. I may process what you're about to lay on me, because when I genuinely care about someone, and to see them repeating that same cycle, it hurts my feelings. But I can't allow that now to be something that I'm continuously allowing my energy to entertain.
Right, exactly.
Eventually, you're gonna get tired. I'm tired of watching you. So if you're not tired, I can't continue. My advice ain't doing you no good. It's just me talking.
Yeah. I had a friend.
Hello, meet my wall. Are you
right? I had a friend that I was talking to one time, and I just came out and told her, I said, it's not him, it's you.
That's it.
You.
Oh, God dang.
And the thing is, if a friend can make it through that conversation, have the real conversation that needs to be had, they are wanting to grow. But if they don't want to talk to you no more, you win, and you know that they're not ready.
They
don't have to look to themselves on their own, but it's like, that's exactly what you have to do. You have to be real all the time and be what's necessary, not what's comfortable. Not
right.
Compassionate messed up a lot of times. We insert ourselves to try to ease something when it's not our responsibility to ease anything. This is happening. Why are you easing anything? Be there and do what's necessary. And a lot of times what's necessary are the words that need to come out of our mouth that we refuse to say.
Absolutely.
We can nip a lot of our frustration and annoyance and pain. We can nip it in the bud if we just said what we knew good and damn well we were going to say. But then we get home and we want to complain about it to anyone who will listen. Well, we should have just told them, it's not them, it's you.
It's you.
That's the part, though. That a lot of people can't deal with that. I'm like, if
that's
not
not
my friend, you gotta
not
be willing to tell me the truth, even if it hurts. And you need to be willing to listen to the truth, even if it hurts as well. Because real friends don't let other friends continue on the same damn path that they keep smacking the hell out of their head on.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
It's the truth.
Now, I will correct you in love,
like
and I will correct you respectfully.
Right.
And I expect the same from my friends. When I'm messing up, I need to know that.
Call me out on it.
Yeah.
Respectfully. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Don't just, because, you know, a lot of times whenever something is going on, you kind of find out like who your real friend. That's when them true colors start to show too.
And that's why I'm grateful for this week, man. I'm telling you.
Yes, them true colors will show. So sometimes you just got to let it kind of, if someone is giving me some feedback, I'm like, okay, thanks. You know, it may go in one ear and out the other, because then I'm kind of, I'm like, I felt that, you know, I'm like, that makes sense why I thought that about you. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, I'm like, okay, missed call from such and such, missed text, because I'm not dealing with them no more. No. Toodles. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Girl, I be like, I get when I'm done for the time being, like it truly depends on the situation, whether I'm done temporarily, because some things I'm done temporarily. Like I'm focusing on this household and getting our family started and focusing on investing and getting my balance together.
There you go.
So those are my focuses right now. I don't have time for family drama that doesn't include solutions. And every solutions we come up with, there's another damn problem for that solution. Like if that's what you want to do one time, you can't have it, damn it. I ain't got time for that. Why am I gonna go out of my way to help fix something that I had no part of breaking in the first damn place?
In the first place.
And then every solution we come up with, here comes some Johnny half-ass reject coming up and saying, well, why don't we do it this way instead? Are you financing this? Are you taking time out of your life to fix something that should have never been a problem in the first place? No, let's have several seats and shut the hell up then. We got something to get done here.
Randy, you have got to. We got to come up with a animated character for Brandy's voice, because I'm trying to tell you we can make money off of this. You hear me? Man, it's like the way you inflate your voice. It's just like we all in. We all in.
Well, come on with it. I always wanted to be an animated character.
Because you know, okay, I think you would be just as famous as Eddie Murphy's voice is for the donkey. I'm screaming.
Tell you, that's one of my favorite movies, Shrek 2. When they was riding in the carriage and he was like, "Are we there yet?" His answer, donkey.
Look, Tracy said, "I hear NFT."
Yes, you do, Tracy. Yes, you do.
Oh my God.
Oh man, I love this conversation.
That's it. How important is it for you to build that village, especially since you have 4 children and your future husband of America?
What? What did you say?
Yeah, I said future husband of America. But like, do you ever take into account how you conduct yourself when you're dealing with other people to lead by example for them?
Yes, absolutely. So it took a lot of basically I had to basically face the woman in the mirror. It was one of those things where it was like, could I be the reason why they are that comfortable talking about this stuff to me? Because I'm saying one thing, but am I actually showing them, hey, I'm not a part of that. I don't want my name attached to that. I don't want my business attached to that. I don't want my children attached to that type of,
say that.
and it took a lot. And I'm gonna tell you what it really, I'm gonna be very transparent. I lost my mom in December. And that was like my best friend, my rock, so we talked about everything. So not having that was a moment for me to reflect. I really had to find who I was outside of like my shadow. You know what I'm saying? Because I felt like she was like, she's been with me all my life. So it's like now I'm lost. I'm here, but I'm not here. You know what I'm saying? So it became a point where I was like, do I allow things to consume me, or do I really face the inner things that I haven't actually dealt with? And it all came down to generational cursing. It came down to things that my mom told me about when I was younger, but I was just like, okay, maybe she's just having a bad day. Maybe these people are not as bad as she say.
Right.
But as I observed as an adult with my children, I'm like, oh, she was onto something. So now to answer that question, now I'm acting accordingly. I'm like, listen, I'm gonna call you out on it. If you hurt my feelings, I'm gonna let you know you hurt my feelings. Right. Okay, you may just be uncle such and such, or you may just be auntie such and such, but you're gonna respect me as unique, or you can stay away from me, period. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's the goal. I want my children to understand that. I want my children to understand that they don't have to deal with the things that I dealt with, my siblings dealt with. You don't have to deal with that, because we can create a village, and I can call my sister Brandy, like, hey, I need to vent. And it's not like a toxic vent. It's just like, whoo, I just need to breathe.
Right.
So it's absolutely important to have. Yeah, you have to have like a support system. You have to have a village. So I'm real strong on that. What are we learning from each other? What are we building towards? What are we doing? If we're going to be attached to one another, we're going to be friends. We're going to say we're family. Because just because you're family, that doesn't automatically mean blood. I have people that are not related to me at all, but I can count on them more than I can someone that's actually related to me. You know what I'm saying? So I instill that in my children. Just because that's your uncle doesn't mean anything. This is my best friend. He's like your uncle. He's gonna come pick you up from school. He's gonna this football. And that's I'm big on that. And I've been cutting people off left to right, and I'm not having, and I don't care. Think what you want to think. At the end of the day, I have to have that peace, because I know it's very easy to lose yourself when something happens so traumatic. To where it's very easy. The devil comes in, and it's very, very easy to just get distracted and just get lost. It's easy. So you can't allow that to happen.
Right. I completely agree. That's so good. Like Brandy's like,
man, I can't tell you how many times I've seen it over the years, but like every time it happens, the process becomes easier and easier. And one thing that truly helped me when I began actually identifying those people that did not deserve space in my life, I used to feel very, very guilty about removing myself and access to me from certain people.
There you go.
Until I realized if I allowed them to abuse me, the person that has to make up for it is my husband. Why would I do that for him? And when we have kids, I'd be taken away from them. When I started seriously understanding that the guilt is there temporarily, because sometimes you wonder, like, did I cut them off prematurely? And 9 times out of 10, no, you did what you were supposed to do. You just care about the fact that that's a fellow human being that you wish you could help, but you have to want help in order to receive it. You can't force help on people.
Where the fan that is getting hot.
If you had a tip bucket, I'd have put something in it on that one. Okay?
Yeah.
My cash app is.
Put your cash out. Somebody might want to donate to the Disconnector, y'all. We're going to put a cash up. We're going to pass the collection plate on that one. Okay?
Woo! Yeah, you preached on that one.
The craziest thing is, what about those relationships like when you were raised in the church and you realize there's a lot of shicey stuff going on all around you, and you there just trying to, build your relationship with God, and you suddenly realize it's a whole lot of politics going on around me. I don't like that spirit.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of that going on everywhere. It's a lot of that going on everywhere. Like any aspect of life that you can think of has politics. Relationships has politics. Church, school, your work. It's about politics because it's like who's calling the shots and what is important to them. You got a lot of, like my company, I won't name it because I don't think I'm supposed to. You know how you work. But we're very sustainability conscious. And that's what's important to this company. But, you got a lot of companies, it's just a whole bunch of waste. I mean, thank goodness they're telling people to recycle K-Cups now, because when K-Cups first came out, I'm like, oh, the landfill just tripled. You know what I mean? I'm like, you change the cup every time? Well, you can just put it in the pot and just, it's like it's one little tiny filter versus with me, sometimes I'll drink 3 or 4 cups of coffee a day. It's just like so wasteful. So it just depends on what you're looking at. Everything has politics, and everything has compassion, and everything has character, and everything has its negative, and everything has its positive. But in every situation that we have, no matter what situation we're in, the beautiful part is we get to pick what part of the situation we are. We don't have to be the politics.
Exactly.
We don't have to be the negative. We have the power to choose what part am I going to play in the collective today. And a lot of times, more often, I couldn't even get that out of my mouth. It happens to all of us that sometimes we play the part of which we don't want to play. Because when you think about the part that you play, it's the part that you amplify. And if you are amplifying it for the whole, guess who's going to get the best part of it? Of what you amplify? You gonna get it because you're the closest to the blast. Yeah,
that part. So said.
I just, I just want to be a part of the good part. Even on the days that I may feel like I need to cut somebody out, you know what I mean? I'll spend the rest of my day being a part of the good part. It's all about tipping the scale. We just want, a lot of times we wallow in our mistakes, and and I'm saying this from a personal standpoint. We wallow in the things that we do bad, and then all of a sudden the snowball starts to happen. Because then we're defending what we said, then we don't do too proud to apologize, and then we want to, do this and do that, when all the while we fail to realize we need to stop the momentum that we're creating. We have to slow the train down some kind of way. It's all the times, the only thing that can slow it down is when you put yourself in front of it. That's it.
That's true.
We want to throw everybody else on it, but then we created more momentum of just downward spiral. So
that part. And I was just thinking about it the other day, and like some of the biggest issues that I've had with people is when they put me in between stuff that I ain't got nothing to do with. Like you beefing with so and so, and you telling me all about it. I'm like, I don't care about none of that.
Right?
Why are you coming to me with this bull stuff? Why don't you go talk to them about it?
Right, that's the person that needs to know about it.
Thing, when you're in the middle of 2 people that are beefing with one another, and they don't even know they beefing.
Right.
You beefing with somebody who don't even know you beefing with them.
I can't stand your ass, girl. You see what she did?
You want me to beef?
What are you talking about? Go
right.
You're like, you want me to beef when you ain't even told them you beefing.
Right. They have no idea that you upset with them.
Hey, girl, I can't stand that bitch.
But you want me to be mad with you.
Right. How does that work?
I'm busy that day. I don't know what day you want to do that, but anybody ever want to do that, just know I'm busy that day.
I am busy.
But that's the crazy thing. It's like, it's fascinating when you become more versed in actually reading people and following your instincts. I'm one that I'll peep game and I'll give you just enough rope to either understand, like, I see you, I need you to shift a different direction because I don't play that, or they got to go. There is no middle ground with me. Either you're gonna be all right or become all right, or you're gonna get gone. Period. Because there are people that, like, what my little big brother like to say, Prince my cow. The same dog that'll bring a bone will take a bone.
That's it.
So they come to you to talk shit. They're also probably talking shit about you to somebody else.
Absolutely.
Let's give them something to talk about. A little mystery to figure out.
Hey.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what used to cut that down? Like when people would come to me and say, "Hey, such and such said this and that," and I'm like, "Oh wow, that's interesting." So what made
that's interesting?
That's interesting. That's
comfortable enough to say to you.
What made them so comfortable to continue talking about? They went that in depth. So what did you say? Oh, and they cut it off. They like, what you mean? I didn't say anything. Oh, so now your neck rolling, eyes rolling, all that. Okay, you said it. Okay. I'm like, that's fan behavior.
So they said all of that and you never said a word.
Never
so
said a
whole dissertation.
Right. You just went along with it and said nothing. You're never quiet. You're lying. Damn lie. You went in and said exactly what you wanted to say, but you can't say to me. So I'm like, I tell you what, you and your new best friend, y'all can have that. I don't know what was said. You told me what she said, but you didn't tell me what you said.
Right.
Bye-bye.
That's right. Something ain't right. You're talking about now. I can only assume you was talking about then.
Right. So I'm like, I'm not even gonna put the energy in it because I'm the type of person you coming in and be talking about somebody. I'm like, hold on, let me call them on three-way. Hold on. Hey yo, we gonna get this out right now. We gonna get this out the way right now. Right.
No, I didn't say that, but she right here. Hang on a second.
No, that's not how I meant it though. She took that out of context. No, the hell she ain't.
I'm like, before this escalated, go somewhere it shouldn't. Let me go ahead and call such and such.
Right. Nip it in the bud. Nip it in the bud.
That's too much. And people think you slow. That's what I think. Honestly, people when they come,
we're not slow. We're nice.
And that's the problem. No more being nice. Don't bring that shit
I'm
out here.
still gonna be nice, but I'm gonna nicely remove you from mine.
There's different levels to nice.
There you go.
That's for sure.
You get nice nasty out of me. You probably have to give it in a jump from complete and total.
Right. So listen, I want to hear about your books.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, so let us know the names of your books. What just a synopsis about in each one of them, and then where we can find them too.
Perfect. So the newest one, you can actually purchase that one. It's on Amazon, but they are taking forever to like upload it. So but you can purchase it on Amazon. I'm taking pre-orders right now as well. So
what's the name of that one?
It's called A Unique Motivational Journey.
Okay.
So what I did was basically I used, and I'll tell, this is basically what I used. So I sat down one day and I thought about things that inspired me the most, whether it was words, whether it was phrases, whatever it was that inspired me and whatever helped me on this journey, basically, whether it was being a mother, whether it was being a friend, entrepreneur, whatever it is, I basically took the letters of the alphabet and I use like A, or the letter B. And so like letter B is like, be cautious of the people that you're surrounding yourself around, be mindful of the energy that they are projecting, and so C was like create memories. You always want to create memories because we're on borrowed time. I used to think I'm gonna live forever, you know, like not really, but in my mind, the way I was procrastinating and moving, like, in a way to where, okay, I got tomorrow to do it. Maybe in the next hour I can do it. So once I actually sat down with that woman in the mirror and realized, like, time is not always on our side, and I have babies that are looking at me. So I basically wanted people to be able to go to this, and it's like a journal. It's like basically laid out as like a journal, so you can actually tell, like, whatever quote that I put in there, and it's actually my quotes. Whatever I put in for letter A, you're gonna have the opportunity to put what letter A means to you. You can create your own book, and I thought that would be unique because right.
You're taking them on a journey during your journey.
During my journey. So I'm like, if my journey don't inspire you, that's fine. Create your own journey. Create your own path. Open up your mind, because it's all about your mindset. I think a lot of times we get caught up in what everyone else is doing. You have to focus on you, your path, and what aligns correctly with you, because what everyone else has going on, it may not align with you and your path. Your finances may not even be close to being able to keep up with that person. As my mom would say, keeping up with the Joneses, you can't do it. And when I realized that, I'm like, oh, I want to do this. I want to, because I prepare taxes. I do notary. I do so much, but it all went hand in hand with what I'm actually involved in, and I've been through a lot in my life. And so I wanted people to be able to understand, like, you can create your own journey, your own destiny, have your own legacy, something that you can be proud of. Because at the end of the day, essentially, people say they don't like titles or they don't like recognition, but you want to be remembered for something. And I ask my clients all the time, if you were to leave this world today, what would you want people to actually say about you or remember about you in those times when they're remembering who you are and what you stood for? You don't want nobody to be like, oh, well, that, she was this, and which they may say it, but you essentially want to have positive. You want to have that positive aura about you. I want people to look at me and say, oh my gosh, her name is unique. Wow, that's unique, which I get that all the time. But I want them to actually be like, wow, she wrote a motivational book, or, oh, do you see how she interacts with her children? Or, she's real big on her family, her village. I want people to see that and actually know you can do the same thing, but in your own unique way,
Right.
Yeah, so yes, thank you. So that, like I said, that book, and it's not very long at all. I think it's like 64 pages. And I did I wrote a poem in the beginning, dedication to my mother. I definitely have to give her all the praise, and I have to definitely make sure that I acknowledge her at all points, no matter what I'm doing. God first, but Mama definitely, I have to, and so, and I put a few poems in there, and things like that. And then throughout the, it's like some spaces in between, and then you can see like the poems and answers. I think it was really neat the way it came to me. And a lot of people ask me, like, how long did it take you? Honestly, it didn't take me nothing but like one night to create the vision of it. Getting the book cover and getting the stuff, all of that. But writing it out literally was like a day, So, but that's that one. The other one hasn't quite, it's not finished just of yet. My publisher, she has it. But this one, and I'm battling with the name, but because a few people already kind of have the name, but it's not exactly the name that they have. It's just certain words that I'm using that when I looked it up, it was like, I don't think I want to use that.
Right.
But it's basically going to tell I lost my firstborn almost 10 years ago. So that experience is what actually put me in this position. How I ended up meeting so many women. How I ended up meeting, just learning who I was all over again. Literally started you know, he transitioned. And that was when I realized that, you know, life, things happen, you know, and it can actually change your life, you know, for the good or the bad. I was suicidal. I didn't want to be here. I was just like, and I was young, and that's what everyone kept telling me. Oh, everything happens for a reason. We're still young. And I feel like that was so, like, that hurt my feelings so bad, because I'm like, but that was my baby, you know. I was 41 weeks with him, you know, and that was my first. So it was just, so that book explains what exactly happened and how you know what happened, how it happened, and the way you have to be a very strong advocate for your health. You have, as a woman, you have to be a strong advocate for your health. Because of my insurance, they did not take me serious. They were like, "Oh, well, you're just young. Those are normal pains." And I'm like, I know women that plan pregnancies. You mean to tell me this is what they go through? And it just basically explains how many emotions that I went through during that process, you know, and things like that. And so that's what that basically is about, is explaining what it to, you know, me. So, you know, me and me. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Oh, man, I can't wait to read them both. I can't wait to read them both.
I saw one of your posts. You said, this was about my life story. I said, you going on 30. You got like a whole 3/4 of a life to live. What you mean your life story?
Hey, look, thus far, right? All you got is thus far.
You got an old soul in a young body, don't you?
Look, I promise I tell, like, the people, you know, it's so ironic how God works in like mysterious ways. He's actually put me in rooms that I never thought that I would be in. I've been involved in conversations I never thought I would be even in that, you know, in that room, in that conversation, or even I actually have one of the ladies that I'm mentoring right now. She sent me a text before I got on the call, and I was just like, did I send you the link, you know, that I'm gonna be on, you know, the show? And she like sends me a screenshot of her like waiting to get on the show, and I immediately started crying. Like,
that is so awesome.
I was just like, oh my goodness. And I was having like a rough day a few weeks ago. I'll share this with y'all. And I was having a rough. Oh my gosh. It was the worst day ever. I was just in my feelings. I was emotional, you know. And one of my students, she texted me and was like, hey, where are you at? And I'm like, I'm leaving the bank, you know. And she's like, okay, stay where you're at. I'm going to bring you something, right? Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, you know, like, what's she gonna bring you? Like a frappe? I love frappes. So I was like, maybe like a frappe or something. She literally brings me like this organizer. It's like a huge calendar for like 2022, 2023. And it's like sticky notes on the inside. There's like a motivation. Like, yes, there's literally like a Bible on the inside. There was a depression and anxiety like devotional book I can read. I was like broke down in the car, like, oh,
so cool.
You know?
Yeah.
And so I realized that God has put me in these positions for a reason. I don't think anything that I've went through was by accident, you know. I mean, it's like, you know, I honestly feel like my story, which everyone has a story, I just honestly feel like that it depends on, some people hold those stories in. Some people, they don't, I don't want to be judged. Forget being judged, help somebody. And that's my goal. I've met so many women that's lost children, so many fathers that's lost children. And I'm just like, I'll never tell them, because I have the words to say, because I've been there. Sometimes people get overwhelmed with, you know, oh, I'm sorry for your loss, or, you know, oh, well, you can just make another. Sometimes those people don't understand how hurtful those words are, you know.
Right.
And so I feel like creating that part of my village is so that I can actually let, you know, we can have a group, and we, you know, and we can talk about those things, because some people never want to have children after that because it was so traumatizing. The doctors told me I would never have kids after that. And look, I had 4, you know. Yeah. healthy babies, natural births, things like that. But I took my health very serious, You can't tell me, okay, wait a minute, his heartbeat is this. Okay, I need an ultrasound. Yeah, and I have, good insurance. I had to make that investment so that I'm never put in that situation to where I'm having to bury another child,
Yeah.
Right.
So you have to know. Mm-hmm. You have to let them know that like this is my life, and I'm trusting you to deliver a healthy baby. So you're not just gonna tell me any and everything. Yes, pain does come with it, but there's a lot of red flags also. And I feel like if they would have caught that with my son, he's head down, he's ready to go. No, he was his feet he was breached. So I'm like, yeah. So I'm like, if y'all would have caught on to that, y'all would have taken it a little bit more serious, maybe did another ultrasound, you would have already known,
Yeah, they always say that that's one of the places that most people are most timid is in a doctor's office, because I know I've done it myself. You got a whole list of things that you want to say. I got to remember to say this, and then they come in and they're like, "How you doing?" Pretty good. You're there. Like this is what's going on. Hi.
This is my baby. This is Ayana.
Say hi, Ayana.
Hey,
you are precious.
Yeah.
So
you know what you look like. You look like a world leader.
Woo! You hear that? Yes, you like that, don't you?
You are.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
Now, I must know. Did you get that baby her Taco Bell yesterday?
I did. Oh my God. Look. She got her Taco Bell.
Yeah.
She loves
Ayana.
You're Ayana.
Oh, you're precious, Ayana.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to say before we run out of time, you mentioned poetry. Do you do a lot of poetry?
I used to. That's the thing that I'm getting back into is poetry, because I feel like that's a good way to express, and I love music as well.
Oh, yeah.
You ain't right. You in the right company.
Look, so I feel like that is another way. If I'm not writing a book, because that's time consuming sometimes, I was actually thinking about incorporating like poetry in with those stories, spoken word.
Yes, that's awesome. Yeah, poetry is my jazz.
Is it okay?
Yes. I told Carrie, because my husband has a project in the works. I said when he gets that thing open, I want you on that mic doing your open mic, doing your poetry slam, singing a little bit.
Yeah.
You want to welcome to Miss Unique.
Hey, I'm all for it.
That's right.
I'm all for it.
Yeah. I'm really excited about that milestone once he locks it in, but all things in due time.
That last book, I forgot to ask. I know you said it's still with your publisher. Do you have a date, or is it just still in the works right now?
It's still in the works right now. But where you gonna ask for the title that I've been thinking about is from broken to healed. Is what I was basically trying to, what Brandy say, tweak or keep.
That's it.
That's my lingo right there. That's it.
That's the one. You know that's a client.
That's it.
Yeah, most people be like, man, because I don't put everything on blast like that. They don't. One thing that I found very hard to just fully embrace about myself is building my connections quietly. Like everybody doesn't know everyone that I'm connected to, because I'm more focused on building those relationships, not blasting who all I know.
That's deep.
Right.
And that's why, like, most people don't know, like, the program for your mother service. I never said anything about that.
I see. So you want to like, I gotta move in silence. I gotta. But you want to make sure too before you just
tear down when you move in silence.
Say it again.
They don't know what to tear down or aim at.
let me interfere with that though, because I'm a strong believer of this. What God has for you is for you. So I don't figure anybody can tear down something that He already has aligned for your life, though.
Absolutely. But there are certain people that give you them telltale signs that you know, like they don't need to know about this.
Yeah,
they don't need to take that drama on.
Keep right. Exactly.
And I agree with I definitely agree with both, because but it may slow it, it may stumble, it may stop it, it may even crush it. They may even take your shit and run away with it, make $1 billion. But I guarantee you it was designed that way.
Exactly right. It was exactly
designed that way.
Yeah.
Go with it.
That's one thing I definitely believe. If I can build it once, I can build it again and again and again and again. And necessary.
You have to be able to.
And that may just be your mission this time. It's just to build the muscle of resistance. Oh, not resistance, persistence. That's the word I meant to say.
There you go.
Indeed. So, yes, indeed. So, everybody who listens, thank you guys for rocking with us tonight. We're coming to the end, but I want you to, if I may, if you'll tell us just what is your why and like how is that connected to your path and everything that you do.
So my why is sorry, I have another visitor in here.
Hello.
Say hi. Hey, little Jay. Right, look. I see you, man. Now go on, get some. Go on somewhere now. Hold on. Okay, so my why. Hold on, he's about to.
She's about to.
Look, Mr. Fuzzy Pants.
Look, he about to cut up in here. Yes. Okay,
you got the whole crew in the house tonight. Yeah.
I love it.
They were so quiet. I actually thought I heard the TV on, and I'm like, I was thinking maybe they were like sleeping or something, but
no,
they must know what's coming to the right. They like, I'm gonna take him out really quick, and I'm gonna answer that question. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're fine. I'm surprised you didn't bring no commercials tonight, Brady.
Most of the time, except for profanity sometimes. But while she tends to the children, y'all, I want you to take a few points away tonight. Our family doesn't have to look like what we've been told it should look like, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. There are people that we are blood related to. Those are our kin, our relation, our relatives. But I'll say it once and I'll say it again and I'll say it again and again and again. Family are the people that act like it. If you drop everything that you're doing to help somebody and you can't expect the same in return, is that an even exchange? If it's not, don't go so hard on the people that won't do it for you.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying don't help people. What I'm saying is don't hurt yourself doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Then you have no good to anybody.
Yeah.
That's true.
I'm only talking about what I know now, y'all.
Right. Look, talking from experience, because listen, experience is the best teacher all day long.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And true love, that's what true love is. It's that agape love, to love beyond the circumstance and love just for the sake of loving. Because what is the alternative?
Right.
If it ain't love, I don't want it.
If that's all. Right.
Well,
Look at her.
She is funny.
We gotta get her.
Yes, because now that you just said
who needs a voice for an animated character? Come see me.
That laugh. Listen to that laugh.
Yes.
Y'all know I'm special.
Oh my goodness, I love it.
Unique.
Yes.
Do you have a timeline for when you expect that book to be coming out? Because I believe I know who your publisher is.
Right.
I'm gonna have to snatch her up on this show too.
You're gonna have to. Yes, I will say her to Miss Kim.
Ivory Taylor.
Yes.
Yes.
I will say, so this one just released. Like I said, it will be available on Amazon next week. It should have the full, it'll be on.
I already ordered mine, y'all.
Yeah, right. She ordered her. Yes, a lot of people went ahead and pre-order because I have so much of a support system. I was like, let me go ahead and get them to pre-order some books first, and I order me some, so that way when I have my book signing, nobody's left out or like, oh well, I don't have my book, or you know, I couldn't afford it at the time. Whatever the case may be, it's $15. So I'm like, I blow that at McDonald's. You know, like, get you something that's gonna motivate you and get you going. Right. You know, don't think it's just a waste. You know, like no. You're gonna be motivated. But the other one I'm projecting July is what I yes. So I turned 30 in August, so I was really trying to see like, okay, but if it's not July, definitely August. I'm a Virgo. Look, so but if not July, definitely August will be awesome. So but it's already complete.
After that, y'all, I'm excited about the journal.
Man, I'm excited. I'm just excited because I've seen so much growth in you over just like I've only known it like a year and a half, 2 years, y'all. And it's like night and day. Like she was like right on the precipice of that switch to beast mode, and now she's like in beast mode now, and it's a thing to behold. Like if you hating on this young lady and the moves that she making, like either grow up or get the hell out the way, because one way or another she's still gonna make it to that precipice she's on her way to.
Let's go.
Love it. Yes, I love that. Thank you. Before I was interrupted with the kids coming in here. No, that's not an interruption at all. They're curious. What's she in there doing? Look, that's them. But what I like to tell people that your why should be so strong. Like my why is like when I think about it, I get emotional of the vision, and I'm like one of those people. I write everything down. I take a lot of notes. I'm a visionary. I have to see it. So those that are watching, get you a vision board, get you a journal, get you a notebook, something, and write those goals down. Look, write it down, take a picture. If you saying, it's one thing to say something, but you actually have to believe that you can achieve it, because are you just saying it to be saying it? I'm gonna look. Yeah. I love it. She play off. But you have to be able to, if you say you're going to buy a house, okay, well then ride in the neighborhoods of where you can actually see your children growing up. The schools that you want them to be, want to homeschool, whatever it is, take pictures. If you want to eat healthy, go to the grocery store and look at all the healthy things that you can actually intake. You want to lose weight, okay, well, get started on creating. And that's what I do. I have a to-do list for everything. So just about everything. Sometimes I have to tweak it a little bit. But just about my day does not go on without a to-do list. So yeah. I have to achieve the
4 kids, 4 schedules, plus yours, plus his. Yeah, you better have a list some damn way.
I love a list. I like checking the stuff. I love a list.
Absolutely, yes. And but my why is, for one, I just want my children to have, because I know I'm not going to be here always. I want them to have, I don't want them to work for anybody, for one. I will say that. I want them to understand the value of $1. But I want them to understand that I am building, why I'm doing so much is because I want to build a legacy for them to be able to be comfortable in their own space with their family, with their children, and generations to come. I want it to be comfortable. And I grew up uncomfortable, dysfunctional. So I don't want that for them. You know what I'm saying? And I want to break that curse. So my why is simply, I tell everyone, I don't have to be a millionaire. I just want to have enough to where I am comfortable and I'm able to go and continue helping others along the way. My success story should be the reflection of others that are around me. The village,
right?
You know, it's not about me. Essentially, at the end of the day, God gave me what he gave me, the mindset. So it's up to me to connect with those individuals to be able to continue to build what I want to see, and and I think that's very important. So that's my why. My why is honestly for my children to be comfortable in their space, and then also for me to be able to look at others around and they're enjoying their family, they're enjoying that freedom, they're enjoying life, because we all have an inner, and that may be a subject for another day, but we all have an inner child. Like I have an inner, it's like we all have an inner child.
Oh my gosh, we need to talk after this. But y'all, we have reached the end of tonight's show. Unique, thank you so much for coming on tonight and being so transparent with us, having this discussion about the importance of creating our own village and getting that mindset and moving forward no matter what this life throws at us. And we've all been through a lot. You've been through a lot. Carrie been through a lot. I've been through a lot. But guess what? It's all been worth it as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely.
So with that, I want to extend to you an open invitation. You're more than welcome to join us on the show anytime. But we got an open spot, of course. Y'all, all the information in the description of tonight's show. So if you want to reach out to Unique, all her contact information is in there. She got a Linktree link that I'll be dropping in the comments a little bit later. You got the link to the book. If you're somebody that's looking for somebody need a coach, a mentor, somebody to prepare your taxes, whatever you need, there's a booking link. ScheduleWithUnique.com. Hit that up, do your consultation, and see what y'all can make happen. So with that, we thank you guys for your time tonight. We love you guys, and we'll be back next week. Same time, same place. Shut up, Sarah.
When will you vote for an animated character?
Don't be laughing at me.
Bye, y'all.